Hello, 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 and welcome to No Time to Explain.
So
I'm your girl, Mrs. IB Friction, and we have a full cast today. Everybody is here. You gonna say hello? Introduce yourself.
Hi.
For the newbies.
Oh my goodness, Suchi.
Wait, what?
Why you do this?
Okay,
every week?
that's Lil Dante or
My name is
Suchi.
Suchi.
Ego the humble bragger.
KingXeph. It's Jeremy. I be friction.
Oh my goodness.
He went Lil Dante. I couldn't leave him alone.
Well,
I didn't
he
do
did
that.
it. I
She
did that
did
to
it.
him.
Hey, with his hair is pulled back, he looks like Larry from the Three Stooges. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, today we have I think a really good topic, but before we get into that, Ego here has a conspiracy theory about Lil Wayne.
3 conspiracy theories.
All right, bro,
3.
take it away.
All right, so
ready.
you ready? Oh, yeah, you're a music person. You like this. So as we all know, Lil Wayne sold all his masters for Young Money, and we've come to find out recently that included in those masters were Nicki Minaj's and Drake's first couple projects.
Wait. Before you continue, not only did he sell the masters, he also sold the publishing rights.
And okay.
Wait, he sold them both?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that I might have killed one of my conspiracy theories.
You fact check it. I'm just going what I saw on Facebook.
Damn. I mean, okay, so yeah, he sold everything. So I have a couple
For how much?
$100 million.
They shorted him.
20 years of work
For 3 people?
for 3 of the biggest
How many
artists.
platinum sales did that go through?
That's crazy.
I mean, that's at least 10 platinum albums, or at least 8 platinum albums between
Gotta
the 3
be,
of them.
yeah.
At least for $100 million. And
Well, did he sell his Carter stuff and his Drought stuff and
Well,
everything?
no, that wouldn't count. Those are just mixtapes. So I don't think
Yeah,
those would
mixtapes.
count.
He wouldn't make any money off of
no,
those.
not
They wouldn't count.
mixtapes. Anything like officially like
So
released.
his legit
Albums.
album. So the Carters and the I Am a Human Being will be a part of those because those were albums.
And that rock album he made?
Whatever
Yeah.
that was. Yeah.
Rebirth. His best album.
Don't listen to non-Wayne fans.
I love my fancy underwear. Prom Queen was lit, boy. But okay, hold on, stop. We're getting distracted. So the first thing, which is probably the most reasonable thing, I think, reason he sold everything is his gun charges. I think Universal told him, if you sell us your masters, we will make sure you don't go to jail. It was just my thing, this most realistic
Very feasible.
theory. You want me to go through all of them, or you want to talk about them one by one?
Wait.
I mean, that one.
Well, that one is
It's
pretty.
just-
I mean, yeah. You know, that one's just kind of like, yeah, I can see that.
That one's pretty good. Okay, my other one is, I think Wayne realizes he's not a smart person. So when he won his stuff from Baby and Cash Money, he realized he didn't know what to do with masters and publishing. So his thought process was, if I sell everything for a lump sum, it won't just be sitting there doing nothing. You know what I mean?
So what you're saying is Baby was actually saving him. He knew what the right thing to do was.
No, Baby was stupid too. He didn't know what to do either. Neither one of them knew what to do with that music.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And then my third one, which would probably piss a lot of people off at the table, is Wayne doesn't think his music will last the time and be timeless. So he sold it.
Lil Wayne doesn't think his music will be timeless.
Bro.
Look, have you heard?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
If I was at a club right now and all of a sudden, actually, it's scratched and the cut, and all of a sudden you heard hearing wee, I wouldn't get excited for
People
cop
would
car.
though,
No,
but
they
you're
wouldn't.
not. You're not a fan, so you don't count.
Cop car.
I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told Dante. Your opinion is invalid because you're not the targeted audience. If you are not a fan, of course you're gonna feel that way. So it doesn't matter what you think about it.
Y'all.
But I think that I don't think that he doesn't think his music will last. I don't think that at all because, you know, you can put on people like if you go out and probably more likely, especially like in the South and stuff, and they did like a mix of just his music, you're gonna hear Lollipop, you're gonna hear Fireman, you're gonna hear Mrs. Officer. He has his songs that no matter what year it is, if you play it, it's going to get the people it's intended for hype, which is like legit fans.
Like Versus is really proving this because you don't have to be a certain fan of people, but if you had a single that was on the radio, like,
and he has singles. I will give you this though, as a whole, his albums as a whole, they can be hit or miss depending on the album. But definitely, the man has hits, no doubt. Like,
yeah, obviously, I would never say he doesn't have hits. But I feel like a lot of Lil Wayne's, the best part about Lil Wayne's music is the shock value of his music. I will say that. A lot of stuff he's putting out, like John, the first time I heard John with Rick Ross, that it was unbelievably crazy because it was super different. But like now when I listen to it, it doesn't like, because the shock value is going on, I know what the song sounds like, it just kind of, it's an okay song now. You know what I mean? Where some songs just are always just in that high level of music. Like
but I think every artist has songs like that.
Like that song from that guy that you don't listen to or appreciate and says it's trash, but you know everybody knows what Stan is.
What?
Talking about
Eminem.
Who?
Stan.
What the fuck is that?
You know what? We're not even gonna worry about that.
Anyway, so did you fact check?
That actually made you less credible. Talk about music.
I was trying to get him stressed out. I just right now. That white bitch, I get it.
I didn't see anything about publishing rights.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
Yeah,
but
so all I saw was like master. So I don't know about the publishing rights.
But dude,
I would hope not.
He fucked Nicki and Drake.
Yeah.
How bad?
All of Drake's music, all albums.
All of Drake's albums up until Scorpion. So Scorpion and everything before.
The only thing Drake has is Tootsie Slide and...
So everything post 2018 that Drake has made, Drake owns.
I mean,
and all of Nicki's. All
including
of Nicki's.
Queen?
All of it.
Because it was all under Young Money.
So I mean,
I just looked up Nicki's albums just to make sure. I'm just like, all right, Queen. I'm like, I don't remember that was her last album or not. That was her last album. It's like Queen and everything before it. So Pink Friday, Pink Print, Queen, all of Nicki's.
Okay, so
not even just. I mean, everybody stops at Nicki and Drake, but there were other Young Money artists.
Nobody cares about them.
Tiger don't count.
Nobody cares about Mac Main. Nobody cares about any
Young Gutter. You don't like Young Gutter?
Chanel West Coast.
And this is y'all king. He signed her. This is y'all king, bro.
He likes to give people chances.
That laugh, bro.
But no, okay, what was I finna say? Yeah. So my thing would be, did they get anything out of that deal? Like, where's the rest of the receipts for the deal? No. I mean, as far as a percentage of their stuff, or rights to something, do they get can they do anything with their own music? Or are they going to have to spend $100 million to buy back their stuff?
They're going to spend way more than $100 million. But if he is the sole owner of Young Money as a label and their music, and he just sold everything, they had no say-so or right over anything.
Well, yeah, but you got to think about it.
Give them a chance to even...
And then you got to think they're this quote unquote family, right? So yeah, technically, well, that's how the three of them act. Whenever they speak of each other, it's in that way. And so you got to think on a technicality. Yeah, Wayne is the owner, but it will be, I think, safe to assume they had it set up in a way where they were still making money off their stuff too.
I don't see him as a businessman though. That's my whole thing. Like, he was signed to Baby and is just now starting to fight for his music and rights.
Just now, no, it's like
that Baby fight was almost a decade long, trying to get his stuff.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I thought it was probably like 5.
No, it didn't get bad until like 5 years ago, but it's been going on for a while.
He's been trying to get his stuff from Baby.
Yeah, because he didn't get paid because it was the Carter 3 he didn't get paid for, or
Carter
2 or 4. It was 4. So Carter 4 he didn't get paid for. So everything from 3 to up he had issues with. And
then it held off 5 because 5 was supposed to came out.
Yeah,
5
5 should have came out like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
honestly, should have. I would have preferred him to wash 5 and not release the way he did, like Dre did Detox. Because
in my opinion, Carter 5 wasn't what it was supposed to be. Whatever he gave us was not the album he had planned.
No.
I agree.
Well,
I want that. I want him to release the real Carter 5. Like, that's what I want.
Well, you gotta remember though, if you're writing an album and then you get stuck on the album halfway through and they got to take 5 years off from touching it and then finish it. You're not gonna be in the same space.
I need him to do it untitled.
Creatively.
I need him to do it untitled like Kendrick.
'Cause
Give
remember-
us whatever that was. Give it to us.
Cause
He
remember-
could have released
remember-
that as a demo thing.
Because remember, Compton was supposed to be Detox too, and you had, it was all like Anderson .Paak and
Was it though?
No, it was.
Yeah.
He said the Compton soundtrack would have been
what Detox
was. But the only problem was there was so many young artists on there.
And it was so
How
new.
the fuck was it supposed
That
to
was
be
not-
Detox?
It was like
I don't believe him because the sound didn't even sound.
It don't even sound
when
like him.
when he wrote it. Because he said it was done. When he said it was
He
done?
said it was done like 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
The sound was too new.
and that's
Because
I could be wrong, but I could have sworn in an interview that they said that the real Detox never got released.
oh yeah,
Oh,
no.
yeah, no, that's in a vault somewhere.
But the reason I kind of disagree with it because I remember right before Compton came out, like he was on an interview, literally talking about because of the success of the movie, it drove him to make a soundtrack for Compton, which is how that came about. Now, if he said anything else in between that or before that, but I remember him on Beats Radio having an interview. He just this got my energy going. Is like, I want us to make a soundtrack, and then that's when he said that he was releasing Compton.
And that's the thing. He said the Detox album sound wouldn't
Wouldn't have worked.
it wouldn't work now if he was to release it.
And I don't believe him.
Here.
Cares.
Yes, okay.
And
Smokey
and then-
Robinson released Gangbang, which was a poem he did in Def Poetry Jam back on HBO in like the 90s. Gangbang,
Hey,
it's
that-
a hit now.
That's gonna go platinum.
It's a hit.
Yeah.
So you gonna tell me the sound it won't matter?
And then what sets me off is that Royce the 5'9" said he's heard it and he said it's fire. I'm like, come on now. Like people
And
people have listened to this whole thing and I can't hear it.
And that's how I feel about Carter 5. I understand, yes, it probably sounds like 2013 or 2015, whatever it was.
Because it was made back
And
then.
I'm okay with that.
Maybe that's just people who have been in the game too long. Like, because Andre gave the same little speech. If I was to do something now, it wouldn't
Fit the sound. Yeah, because they're trying to ride the
But
wave.
with him he's also a passion thing though. That's his problem. Andre's thing is a passion thing. Where I think Wayne still has the passion to rap, mostly because that's all he can do. He can't do anything else. He's not gonna be a good actor.
Oh God,
Right.
no.
He's not gonna
No.
be. He's not gonna have a talk show. He's not gonna be like.
No, he has a talk show.
He
He has a podcast,
Yeah, that's not the talk.
but
That's not the
his guest talk. Have you watched it?
I haven't watched it.
If you watch it, it's an hour-long thing of his guests telling stories and him laughing at it and smoking. That's the whole podcast.
Yep.
He
Makes
doesn't.
sense.
He does. So wait. So when you made that, and then like that's the whole thing, bro. It's great. You get to hear about Busta Rhymes and Fat Joe and all these other people, but
So the story time for Lil Wayne.
it's not for Lil Wayne. For Lil Wayne.
That
And
should be
here
what it's
today, you
called.
guys, we're going to tell Lil Wayne another story. Let's take a look.
It's his bedtime, everybody.
Bedtime stories with Wayne.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference between these older cats and these young dudes is the passion for actual music. Because I think in the long term, I think it hurt him to sell that.
Definitely.
But I think he figured that's all his only option.
But I don't think he feels that way.
I gotta.
I don't think he thinks it was a bad deal at all, honestly, because I think Wayne is also very arrogant. And I think he probably feels like, oh, I can make more money than what I just sold this for and do more music. So it's nothing but a check.
But
And he doesn't, and like we talked earlier, he doesn't reuse his music. Wayne, you don't hear Wayne's music on nothing. You know what I mean? He's
But
not out here
that's-
shopping his music for TV shows and movies and stuff like that.
That like all that stuff still should have been passed on to his kids. Like,
Well, but back to the arrogance. I can do this again. I can make more music, make more albums, and make more money. I don't need this.
He
I
put
think-
all of his kids, most of them, on his mixtape that just came out with credits. His how old are they?
They're
8,
like-
9, 10?
Yeah,
9, 10, 11?
Yeah, something
So
like that.
with that mindset, I can see him knowing that I can do this again.
Yeah,
He's basically doing a DJ Khaled thing because that's all DJ
He
Khaled
said,
did.
"Y'all
So-
can have this. I don't need it. I wasn't doing nothing. Like Torrance was saying,
I
I'm not doing nothing with it anyway. He wasn't. It was just sitting there. So y'all can have it. Y'all can do what y'all want with it because I'm gonna move on and make more money.
And I
I
think
like-
with the whole family thing too, you got to remember, like, after Nicki and Drake fell out over the Meek stuff, you don't really know where their mindset is as a family. So in his mind, so devil's advocate, if I flip sides, I'm Lil Wayne, and I have this catalog of shit I'm not doing anything with. If I sell this music to Universal, I get paid up front, $100 million. Universal is going to use the catalog, right? Mostly Nicki and Drake stuff. So if Drake and Nicki don't get paid up front now, when their shit gets used, they'll get paid later. You know what I mean? So, Drake has his own label. Nicki will be fine. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, no matter how you feel about her, she's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
She is way more influential than I give her credit for. Because I shit you not, I watched this Tiny Desk, like, freestyle rapping thing. Top 10. It had Denzel Curry on it, Anderson .Paak, and then 2 or 3 other girls on there. But I shit you not, every single girl sounded like Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the high voice, the head wiggles, the arms on the hips when they rap. I'm like,
I knew
holy
Nicki
shit.
Minaj was influential when
You got that haircut like her?
when she had people going out getting fake butts, and when she had everybody wearing that pink bob wig or whatever.
Not even the pink bob. I'll take it back to when she first came out. The Barbie chain. Every woman having Barbie in her name.
Yeah.
The two-tone with the Chinese bang.
That one.
Like, that's when you knew. And this is when she first came out. And everybody was trying to look like her and be like her. Just her whole look. And I have to give her credit for that. She still has that. If Nicki was to come out right now and be out for a minute, women would be still trying to look like her. And people aren't doing that with Cardi. You know what I mean? You don't see that with her. She's like, and not saying nothing bad about her, but they're not trying to emulate Cardi B. Not the way they were doing Nicki.
I get you.
Well, it also like shows how strong she is an influencer. She married a pedophile, so and her image and brand is still intact.
They stopped playing music at school dances, though.
Publicly.
Should they been there anyway? Should they have been playing them there anyway? I don't think anyone under the age of 18 should
And
really
they
be listening.
don't want none from 500 feet away.
Remember the Kid Bop? Remember the Kids Bop version of that song? Oh, I love it so much. The Anyway.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't think I would like to believe that there was a conversation so that they were prepared and not blindsided by that.
Okay, so yeah, I have a theory as well.
Oh God.
Okay.
And mine's real simple. Kind of makes sense, probably.
Kind of makes sense, probably. Who knows? Maybe.
Sure.
I guess.
I didn't think about the whole thing yet, but I'm gonna start saying it and see where this goes.
Come with me.
And you'll see.
What's the theory?
I feel like he needed the check.
Damn,
don't
son,
think
where'd you
that at all.
find this?
Like needed
No, want it?
because
Wait, let me see how. Wait, I'll be back.
Because if
he just had all this legal stuff.
Still has illegal stuff.
Still has legal stuff. And obviously, like from everything he's shown, he's not a businessman. So I don't even know if his accountant is counting his money right.
well, what?
And like
What income?
nobody's touring right now.
Not
So-
even before this. Last like 5 years, he has no real income with music because he couldn't put anything out. He couldn't perform his music. So yeah, maybe. What income did he have? Yeah.
Okay, so his net worth is 150 million, which on the scope of things is not. Excuse me, it's not a crazy amount, especially since he sold something for 100 million. So he sold something with more than his net worth,
Well,
almost more than his net worth.
And that didn't include his stuff. That was a combination of his stuff and 2 other people.
Like I felt like he honestly needed the check.
But that net worth is representative of the stuff he owned, though, not necessarily what he was making.
Yeah, net worth is never representative about what you're physically
So
making
if
or what you
if-
physically
if-
have. It's
if-
what your full value is at.
If all his music is tied up and he can't produce more, make more, or perform that, what income does he have?
Okay, so he makes about roughly 20 million a year. The last reported is he made 19 million in 2018. 17 he made 16 million. So the highest over the past since his highest he's made was 2012, 27 million. So he sits around like 20 million a year his take home.
Damn, so
Between 15 and
where's
20.
he taking it home from though? Like, where's that money coming from?
Probably whatever other ventures he has.
Well, you
in
know,
music.
he does commercials. He does, you know what I mean? He does a lot of little stuff that he probably gets paid a decent amount to
endorsements.
do.
He's
a
got
lot
his
of endorsements.
skate park that he probably opens to like private people.
I say
Skating stuff.
I say he probably has a whole lot of other stuff that we just don't pay attention to.
Skating stuff is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, all his money, like Torrance said, has been tied up for the most part, and no one's touring and everything right now. So,
But I wouldn't trust
he
him.
probably needed it.
I wouldn't trust him with touring anyway, because the last time I remember him touring, he just like walked off the stage because he just like, you know what, I'm not feeling this, and just left.
I mean, you can do that. That's
Well,
mean,
well, yeah,
as long
but-
as you show up,
yeah,
that's
you
you
get
picking
paid.
up your back
So
end.
he does. So his royalties. He's a director.
Nigga, did you get his taxes?
Yeah. He's a television director, a songwriter, composer, and producer. He produced a Drake documentary in 2010.
I wonder if that
He
got
owned a
sold.
clothing line, Truck Fit.
truck fit.
Truck
He's
Fit,
co-owner
Young
of
Clothing.
Tidal.
Oh yeah, he is one of the co-owners of Tidal.
Oh,
You know, Tidal has like 100 co-owners.
I
Depending on how much
mean-
you invest in the company determines what your royalties would be.
Yeah. Knowing him, he's stupid. He probably gave him a lot of money. Not stupid, but he probably gave him a lot of money, though.
I guess if it's increase your royalties for titles, why not?
Yeah.
Because that was a whole big thing when it came out. It's like any musician that invested in the company, like however, like their royalties were determined based upon how much money they put into the company. So if you put in a lot, your royalties, your percentage per play was a lot higher than everybody else's.
Okay. I like that.
I mean, it's a good look, but at the same time, it's just like, you know, if you don't put that much money in, you're better off just sticking with Apple and Spotify at that point in time. Anything else, Friction?
I kind of just piggybacking on what Torrance said. It kind of really stuck with me is that he wasn't doing nothing with that music anyway. So if he didn't sell the publishing rights, they're still going to get paid. They just won't own their masters. They're going to get. They have a potential to get paid more with Universal owning their stuff than Lil Wayne owning it.
Yeah. If that's the case.
It's still if that's the case, but if the publishing rights are gone, then that's trash. But kind of like just jumping off of what Mrs. Ivy Friction is that they do have a family mindset. So, that's like with us. If I own Suchi stuff, I would still legitimately have a conversation, even if I felt like I was going to do it. I'm like, hey, bro, this is a move I'm thinking about making. And to our public knowledge, I would.
No, I'm you probably, but I mean, in the music industry, I don't know if the family thing really means anything because Dame Dash wouldn't give Jay-Z his masters back. He sold his music.
They fell out for one.
But I'm saying that was one of the reasons why they fell out, right? Because of
it
the whole
was
Def Jam deal.
The Def Jam deal, and then also Dame Dash wouldn't share any of the Dipset stuff either. He didn't.
Yeah, because I think what happened was Jay
they,
took Kanye.
Well, before
much.
before they split, when they signed Cam to Rockefeller, they were most artists that signed to Rockefeller were split down the middle. But when he brought the Dipset people on, he kept them to himself. Like he wrote Jay-Z off of it without Jay-Z knowing he wasn't getting part of that money. So they fell over that, and then when Jay-Z acquired Def Jam, he tried to do that same thing. On the flip side, he's like, "Hey, I'm absorbing Def Jam, but this chunk of it is mine." But Dame Dash is like, "You're putting it under our umbrella. Why can't I get part of that $50 million, whatever that he was supposed to get from that deal?" He's like, "No, you have Cam, you have your section of Rockefeller. I have my section of Rockefeller." Mm-hmm. So when they split, then they split it like by
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason I even brought up the whole family dynamic is just the way they are publicly. They are very public about that's my brother, that's my sister.
Yeah.
You know, Wayne, and they are so loyal to Wayne because Wayne brought them in. So, and I think, and Wayne publicly has shown a lot of respect towards them as artists and as people. And it's just, they make that family, they bring up that family image. Now, whether or not it's like that behind closed doors, we'll never know. But from what we see, I feel like it's safe to assume that there was a conversation, especially if the publishing wasn't so with it, then I really don't see what the issue would be because, like Ivy Friction was saying, Wayne wasn't doing nothing with their music anyway. And so if Wayne wasn't being smart enough to kind of shop it around so that it is being used in movies and in commercials and things like that, then why not hand it over to a business like Universal, who will definitely do that, and they can continue to get paid off that stuff.
Okay, so I get what you're saying then. So as long as he didn't sell the publishing rights,
Yeah, it's not a bad
they're
deal.
going to shop around the music, and they still have to pay him.
Yeah, so it's not a bad deal.
And also in actuality, like as long as that they came to terms with all of that, and that this wasn't just a shock and awe thing that Wayne just did this off just
Off drugs.
Yeah, off drugs and off the spur of the moment.
He don't do drugs no more.
Now, if it was a deal, if it was a thing like Drake, like, hey, Wayne, before you sell that, kind of about my masters, and he was like, no.
That's trash.
If Nicki was like, hey, let me get the option of what you want for it, I'll pay you for it, and he was like, no. So that's the kind of thing that I'm kind of iffy about, because it boggles my mind that artists wouldn't want to own their own masters,
especially with them being newer artists.
Yeah.
Drake, I can see Nicki taking money over her masters, because again, she's not business minded, where Drake is building an empire and building a record label. So having his masters funding his record label makes sense for him.
Or maybe there's this possibility that maybe it'll be easier for them to acquire, or at least in Drake's sense, to buy it back from Universal than it would have been just to get it off of Wayne.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like I said, because of that sense of loyalty, you know what I mean? You don't want to feel like you're being disloyal, being like, yeah, I love you, but can I have my stuff, please?
Well, also, the hot potato mentality is nice, because it distances those masters away from Baby now. Mm-hmm. You have another bridge in between you and Cash Money, so you're buying it from Universal. So if Baby chases your masters, he has to go to Universal to get to your masters they sold to users. Now, he's not going to beat Universal in court.
That is a thing, though, if somebody else tries to buy him. Because it's one thing when your daddy got your stuff. Ain't nobody finna come to your daddy for your stuff.
Yeah.
But now the stranger got it. I think I know what I can do with it.
And it could get deeper than that, because thinking about how successful Drake's albums could be, like what if he negotiated with Universal, was like, hey, I'll drop my next 3 albums with y'all.
We can always do a Michael Jackson, Eminem. Michael Jackson bought somebody's master.
He bought everybody's.
The Beatles. No,
It was the Beatles.
But he bought the
No,
entire
no,
Beatles
No,
catalog.
I know which one you're talking about.
Did he
It was
bought-
the Beatles.
You sure? No. Okay.
Because-
This is a story. There was a diss.
He does own Eminem's.
Yeah, Eminem dissed him, and he bought his masters.
He
No,
bought.
that's what I'm saying. It wasn't. Let me hold on.
I guess let's make sure for sure. But I think
Okay.
it's Eminem's.
It was.
Research
I
pause.
swear.
Because the only reason I remember this story, because it sounded like the most boss thing I can ever imagine. Like, he like, oh, I don't like what you're saying, but I bought your music. And I was like, dang, like Michael Jackson flexing like this.
Because it was somebody of around the same era, where they made a diss towards him, and he was like, since you're not gonna sell me this, yo whatever, he went and bought the company, because he had so much share in Universal.
There's a lot. It's going to take me a minute to find
Oh,
this.
no. Yeah.
Yeah, so he bought. Michael Jackson now owns the rights to Eminem's back catalog after his partnership company, Sony ATV, purchased the publishing company Famous Music for $370 million.
Yeah.
But I know
from
I'm talking
2007.
about the situation that you're talking about, though. I know he owns Eminem's music, but it's somebody particular who wouldn't sell him something, so he bought the company.
No, he outbid Paul McCartney.
Is that who it was?
He outbid Paul McCartney for the for Beatles. He didn't buy the company; he bought the Beatles music from Sony.
No, the company you're talking about is the thing that
the Sony ATV.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got Eminem, Akon,
Shakira,
Beck,
Bjork.
So it's a Reddit article, and it has the tweet. So it was like, I did not know that Eminem dissed Michael Jackson, and then MJ sued him. Then Eminem apologized, and MJ bought all his publishing. Bought all the publishing. Sony just bought back the rights to Eminem's music in 2016. So MJ owned Eminem for about 9 years.
Oh, and then not to put on to add to that, the song that he dissed him on, "Just Lose It," he took it off the air for the 9 years. So not "Just Lose It" wasn't anywhere for 9 years because it would diss Michael Jackson.
You know what?
That's funny.
I don't remember hearing that song.
I remember when it first came out. I remember hearing it on the radio ever since.
Yes.
That is some boss stuff. So just
He's
saying.
from Gary, bro.
That's what you
People
call
forget Mike is from Gary, son.
That's what you call a flex.
That shit doesn't go anywhere, bro.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Oh, bro.
So I brought that up to say that I don't know why I brought that up. Somebody.
Oh no, because we were saying how somebody else could buy their music. now.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it depends on who wants. Because I give
Who wants to be that petty?
All right, now I know we got some Drake haters here. Now, if like Pusha T or like me or Joe Budden, I mean, any of these people will buy Drake's music, it will be the most devastating thing in rap history.
You know who he beefs with a lot that could actually buy his music?
Who?
Jay-Z. Because they beef a lot. And they jab each other a lot.
And Jay-Z got the capital to do it.
Jay-Z has the money to buy it.
Isn't Jay-Z like a stake owner in Universal in some degree?
Well, is Tidal like associated with Universal?
I don't know.
That's crazy. I would love if Jay-Z bought Drake's music.
That's hilarious.
That'd be the most boss.
Petty.
But I feel like their back and forth is a little more like we understand it's just music type thing, like for the culture type thing.
People are petty though.
No, you're not wrong.
Oh.
If Drake did buy Push's masters, that'd be crazy.
So
Well, the Universal owns them, so
Rock Nation is a branch of Universal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, UMG is like the
Yeah, because Rock
problem is-
Nation is basically a publishing. It's
It's
for
a
publishing,
publishing, yeah.
right?
Like the what is it? Sony, Universal are pretty much the two big ones, and everything else pretty much falls under.
everything trickles under them.
That would be so petty though, because to have that mindset, you'll be doing it just to have it so that nobody else can use it. That would be the reasoning, because otherwise you're still gonna have to pay them if they got the publishing.
But you're also getting paid
You know
off
what
his
I mean?
music, though. So go ahead and diss me, bro.
And that beef coming back.
Go ahead and
to
diss
back.
me, son.
Oh, you
Coming back.
You will
to
never
back.
win.
just
You will
shelf
never
them.
win.
Just shelf them.
The master's coming back to back.
Hey man, that diss is doing good, man. Thanks for the check. Like,
It stinks.
Sideline his music.
Ooh.
Pick his singles out for him.
I'm gonna hold your album on the shelf for the next 3 years.
hey, this is modern day slavery.
Oh, you wanted to re-release Self Care. Oh, that's funny. Oh, Take Care. I mean, you wanted to re-release Take Care.
Write me a
Oh.
10-page paper, apology paper.
Change the artwork. It's just Jay-Z's face in clouds instead of Drake's head.
Like, there's a reason that Nas and Jay-Z get along now.
He owns his music. gotta get along.
I own you. Leave it at that.
Yeah, he's like God with the God-killing gun. Ether killed me, but I owned it. I own it now. My only weakness.
I got it now.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, any more theories on this?
Man.
I think we covered everything.
Yeah. But I would say watch that Lil Wayne podcast, though. You get some good stories from that.
Oh, my other theory. He needs the money to pay for
Don't you
his
say gun
dreads
charge?
to give life back to his dreads.
No, I just need Regina to tell her daddy to please
Just cut that head, bro.
get a fade, bro.
I didn't realize
Just
how
get a
bad it
fade.
was till he was on the Masked Singer.
Dude, when he doesn't have
When
the
they took-
hat
they-
on.
When they took that,
it
they took
With
that,
the hat on.
They took that that robot mask off his head.
He looked like he balding, and it's just
I thought he was sick.
This is why you need real friends.
He
in
has
his-
real friends.
No.
Nikki?
No,
Dre?
no one in that.
nope.
If
His daughter ain't told him to cut it off yet.
Real friends would have been heeding him every day until he cut that. I mean, just like nonstop. Call him, good morning, bro. Hey, man, good morning, man. And then just lighten him up.
You know why they don't, though? Well, they might now, but before, why they didn't? Because if they told him to cut his dreads, he was going to cut their music.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Thank you. Anyway,
Moving on.
moving
Let
on.
me just reach. Let me reach.
Okay.
Damn, that's tough, bro.
And you missed. So moving on. So we wanted to talk about body positivity.
It's okay to be big.
No, let me finish before you keep talking, please. Stop. Look up body positivity. 'Cause I want to read this verbatim.
Happy Friction is wilding out over here.
Body positivity.
Thank God y'all can't see what is on his tablet.
Body positivity.
It's
Erase this. Erase that part.
Roly poly oly.
Erase that part.
These small and circling round.
What are you?
Thank you. Thank you. Because you're terrible. So, body positivity is a social movement initially created to empower and popularize overweight men, women and men, while also challenging the ways in which society presents and views the physical body. I want to take note that that definition has nothing to do with health, and I think that's a problem.
But Jeremy just did the big girl pose when they have the arms up and like look like they're always trying to constantly scare a bear away. The big girls pose on beaches.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
The fact that you knew before you saw that is terrible. Anyway,
It reminds me of Weight Watchers.
No, stop. Before we go deeper into this, I really think it's important that we first talk about body image and where does that start? When did you become more conscious of how you look in comparison to others?
My first time wanting to be like jacked or ever change my body image came from wrestling. That was the first time I've ever really was like, man, I wonder if I can grow up and look like that. Because them dudes looked a lot different than my uncles. Big Papa Pump looked a lot different than my uncles. I'm like, how do I look like Bret Hart? Like, how do I look like how these Scott Steiner, like, I want to look like those dudes, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so that was my first ever man.
Okay, so let's bring it down a little bit. And so when did it start for you or for any of you as far as when it came to in school and being around people around you and stuff like
people
that?
talking shit. 4th grade maybe was the first chubby jokes I got. 5th grade maybe.
I think same for me was 4th and 5th grade. Wait. Actually, no. Mine was 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. That's where.
It's all in middle school.
Yeah, all in middle school.
It was at its worst in middle school.
Yeah.
My 6th grade year before I got into wrestling.
And you know what? I'm kind of just piggyback. I think wrestling, because even in wrestling was them bodies were well, that guy's massive. How do I be massive like that guy? Mm-hmm. And no one had the answers, and no one in my family was jacked at all, so they couldn't help me either.
But the FBI found out in the 90s, didn't they?
It couldn't take those little candies.
Suchi.
I've never really had it.
No, just when it was the first time you dealt with it, or you've never really felt like
You never cared.
I've been so nonchalant my whole life for the most part. So
pretty.
I've had there are
privilege.
Pretty nigga privilege, boy.
It's not that I've had people in my family who were jacked, and I knew my family's I saw at certain things as they grew up. It was either if you worked out, you were gonna get jacked, or if you just didn't work out and you drank beer, you're gonna get a beer belly. And for the most part, my mom was thin, mostly her. I got the opposite. It wasn't chubby jokes. It was toothpick, skinny, small, frail, whatever.
But that's still a thing.
But that's just it really didn't affect me because I was all right, whatever.
Brendan?
Yeah, mine was probably say within the past 3 to 4 years, to be honest. Because very similar to Suchi, my issue when I was younger was that I was just short. That was pretty much, I was always the shortest person in the group. I didn't actually start really growing until I was midway through my sophomore year in high school. But by that time, it's just when 14 years and you're always the shortest person in the group, and you can't control you growing,
right?
In height, that's just one of the things that you just deal with. And then I grew finally, and then I stopped being the shortest person around, so that really bugged me. But I would say where I really started to really look and want to pay attention to how my body looked was literally within the past half a decade, was where I was I want my body to look like something. And by that time it's because I've always been pretty much skinny and all that other stuff. So I've never really thought about it, and I don't overeat or anything like that to worry about weight. So that was pretty much it. What's funny?
What?
Oh no, my
Roasting you, bro.
I didn't mix my drink very well, so this is all like Jack at the bottom. And I took a big sip and it hurt me.
Oh,
But I was gonna say for me, I would say it started in middle school. I know growing up for me, I was like doted on a lot, like by family and stuff. So I was always pretty, so I never felt a way about that. Well, yeah, I never felt the way about that. It wasn't until I got older, until I got to about middle school, when I started watching more TV and started noticing what other people were paying attention to. And so, like, you got to think, like, well, that's when you start really liking people and stuff like that. And so you got to think this is early 2000s. And so it's like, you know, the model image for and granted, this is for a woman and not a kid, but the image was, you know, to be, you know, for a black woman, big boobs, small waist, big butt. That has always been the image. Flat stomach, you know, pretty, you know, we're going to pretty hair, all of that other stuff. But the main thing was that. And so I was always small. I was a small girl, didn't have nothing, shaped nothing up until I probably was almost halfway through high school.
and not to make like a sexist crack at that. It's like that's definitely something more. I feel and see more targeted amongst women more than men. Like, of course,
Most definitely.
you're going to see it in men for the men that are overweight, but in terms of everything, whether you're overweight or you're really, really skinny, like or in between, women deal with that on a regular basis.
And that's what I was gonna go with, because even with me recognizing like I wanted to be jacked like other people, like I didn't have the struggles that I know a woman would, because even like my fourth, like sixth, 7th, 8th grade, like, you know, I only was in a big struggle. I wasn't like bullied, but like people would say stuff. But then when I got to high school, I found out I was funny, so I was okay. Then martial arts, I found out I can fight, so I was okay. Like, it was like I never really like cried and like, or like felt like, oh man. Like the biggest thing I can think of was, because I've always been like a big guy. So like over the last like maybe 3 years, I started like working out, you know, a lot, and not even because of body image, it was because like I was too tired to play with my kids. So, and then I saw a picture where I was the same size as Lorax, and I think, you know, there's a certain level of how big you need to be as a human being. So it was the health part that really affected me, not the how I looked, if that makes sense.
Like, remember when we were in high school too, image wise, you look at magazines and stuff, because like back then the internet wasn't as big, right?
Right.
So image came from magazines, TV. Most movie star males weren't super jacked guys back then at the time. Even action stars weren't huge. Like Jean-Claude Van Damme was the biggest, like muscular, but like what's the other dude?
Or Schwarzenegger or Stallone or something.
I'm saying what,
but most from action stars at the time, like Jackie Chan, Jet Li.
Yeah, you're average.
Yeah.
What's the dude with the ponytail? That used to train Anderson Silva.
Steven
Seagal. Like there was like normal looking dudes that are like,
or even your Chuck Norris.
He
was like
y'all
was in
looked
shape.
at pictures of them in the 90s, right?
They were
ripped, but they weren't big.
They weren't big. Like compared to Vin Diesel, The Rock, Jason Statham. They weren't shredded like
they
that.
wasn't.
They weren't
V-shaped.
I get it. They weren't like size wise. They weren't huge, but they were still like
They
jacked.
looked
But they
attainable
weren't-
though.
They looked normal.
It looked like I can look like that.
Or for an athlete, for someone being quite athletic, like that's a normal look.
The most shredded person at the time was Rob Van Dam. At that time when we were younger, the biggest dude now is The Rock.
Yeah.
If you compare the two, looking like Van Damme's way more realistic than looking like The Rock. So for us, you know, the bar was set a lot lower, but you can compare that to the same time period for girls, Pamela Anderson, Holly Berry, like
Carmen
Electra, like that. Their beauty standards are so fucking
Angelina
high.
Jolie.
And then like you look at in high school. So for guys, as long as you didn't smell and you weren't super fat, girls liked you.
Yeah.
But girls, you had to have your hair together. You had to have a butt or boobs, one or the other. You couldn't be fat. You couldn't stink.
Makeup had to be together.
No, God forbid, acne, braces. Like,
And so
I would have hated being a girl. And now think about that same thing now.
Hold on.
About this time though,
If you were too skinny, they ain't want to date you either.
for boys.
Yeah.
Oh, good
I
girls
don't
don't
think
care.
I don't know.
But you know what?
I can tell you
That
no.
was most of the hood niggas in our school, bro.
Yeah, especially if they hooped. If they could jump.
Hoopers were always skinny.
tiny dudes.
Yeah, they're just tall.
I think
No,
it's just you.
because
stank, didn't you?
the ones in Beverage, like when I went to Beverage, Tolliston, and even at Velt, it was the people who played sports who were more muscular.
Skinny dudes. So most people at Velt was skinny, bro, because we didn't really.
The people who play sports.
Being the voice of women right now on this podcast, I can tell you right now, what is this, between 2001 and 2008, being skinny was not a downfall.
No,
It's still not. It's still not really.
I think, no. I will say I am seeing a shift to women wanting somebody that has a little bit more meat on their bones. Mm-hmm. But being skinny won't get you an automatic out as compared to being more overweight.
No, I'm not saying that, but all I was saying was if you were too skinny, or you didn't have like muscle definition or whatever, like it wasn't something that they were looking for. They wanted athletes.
I feel like that goes in with, when you say that, I'm envisioning Steve Urkel, and then I would have to give you that.
No, the only time too skinny was a problem in high school if you were, and excuse my language, were like a bitch. Like you weren't a tough dude, or if you were pushover, or you weren't funny.
Then it's a personality.
Then it's a personality thing.
Because a lot of the skinny dudes I knew at Westside were fighters. So
yeah, no matter.
That's why I said when you said Velt, man, most of Delaney was all skinny dude brawlers. Like, and they all wasn't on the basketball team because they didn't have GPA. So
that's I don't know. I guess
we had a dude. We had a dude in my in 8-7.
Ooh, man. I like
Maybe
Delaney, y'all, and there's no problem, man. I ain't got no issue at all, man.
I don't know. Maybe because I was small up until maybe my junior year in high school.
And you were a little emotional too. I'm just saying.
And you weren't looked. Are you saying you weren't looked at? Or
not as much as like Aaron. Not as much as Aaron.
Well, yeah. You and Aaron don't look the same.
But you know what, Torrance?
Like, and that's a size
You don't
thing.
look the same.
No jokes.
Well, no, you also had braids back then, and stuff.
We do have that picture of you.
You didn't have the facial hair.
No, I didn't. But I was still I still looked like me.
Yeah, you did. But you are comparing yourself to someone that you don't look like.
I'm saying body wise.
You guys didn't have the same body back then.
So
why are you comparing? Compare yourself to someone who you have the same body as. They got the attention that you
I
did.
know for a fact Aaron's a little more aggressive than you. He's a little more old school manly man.
Look, okay. Do the hand.
Why I oughta torn?
Straight to the moon.
Can we not power right to kiss it right now?
Okay.
But Torrance, I'm glad you kind of brought some of that up because you just made me remember something because. Huh? Oh, about to get his drink.
Y'all are
so, like, you just brought me back to high school when I had braces. Okay. But no, so you brought me back to when I was in high school when I had braces.
Need some antibodies, bro.
Because the only time I was about to be truly scared was when I found out I had to get braces, and they made me. This is a hilarious story. So when I went to the orthodontist,
It better be, but you set the bar up now.
I went to the orthodontist the first time. They did the whole X-ray and everything like that. So they brought me in. They put me in this room, and but basically like a room like this, kind of with a long table and everything. And just like, we're gonna have you watch a video. The video was information about braces, but it was specifically targeted around headgears. Like 80% of that video was about maintaining and keeping of a headgear.
I still
Kill me now.
At that point in time, fear was put into me because
Brendan knew he wasn't gonna make it. He said, "I am dead.
I'm not gonna survive this."
Can I be homeschooled?
No, in band, all we did is roast each other. And a lot of us were vicious, and it was awful. The second I'm badged, I'll say, if I have to have a headgear, I'm done. I might as well never come back. I might need to consider suicide or something, because I am not going to survive this school and the people I'm around with this headgear on. So I am just literally like on the verge of crying in that because I have no idea what's about to happen.
Hey, bro, you sitting there like from Boys in the Hood when he about to take him to jail. He's like, you go to jail, right? He said, man, come on, man.
mean like Brendan with each other in real time?
Oh my!
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Shut up.
Foreshadowing.
But the second they got there, he's like, when the video came off, I'm just sitting there just like this. And they're like, you have any questions? I'm like, do I have to get a head? Because you know what? As a kid,
The amount of tears in that.
as a teenager, you're just like, so I'm running this whole scenario down in my mind. And also in the back of my head, I'm like, are my teeth that fucked up? Because I'm literally like, I'm just analyzing my mouth and everything. And I used to have a minor gap in my front two teeth. It's very minor.
Yeah.
It's average. But on the back of my mind, I'm just like, my teeth are straight. They're not crooked or nothing like that. How fucked up is my mouth that this headgear is about to become a necessity?
It's the only option.
It's the only option.
You went from like kind of okay to yuck mouth in 0.2 seconds.
Exactly, like just shooting everything straight down. For the grace of God, I think the other woman's like, oh no, you just need regular braces. I was like, oh, thank God.
They need to put that as a disclaimer.
I still don't understand. What has to happen for people to need headgear?
You know what? I don't know. And I hope that technology has evolved to the point where that is unnecessary. It is 2020. And if they can't figure out how to fix your teeth without you wearing a helmet / cage for your mouth, we have bigger problems.
Look how burnt he is. He didn't even get the headgear. He almost got headgear. He's burnt. Look at
Well, bro,
motherfuckers that
he
wore
is
that
advocating for them all. He says never again should
Never
y'all ever
again.
need headgear. No, that's a real thing. Like, it's 2020.
Yeah.
If you putting people in headgear now, first of all, you putting a target on their life.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no,
second-
and especially with the internet society now,
Suicide's popular.
They will
now.
make it.
4-year-olds are mean, so I can only imagine.
you gotta be homeschooled.
Invisalign headgear.
Invisalign headgear.
Man, you might as well take all my teeth out and give me dentures, man.
You at home watching? You watching Invisalign commercials? Mama, what can I get that? Shut up, yuck.
And then you're gonna see drug dealing is on the rise. Because Invisalign ain't cheap.
No.
So they go like, look, I'm about to push this weight because I am not getting the headgear.
No way.
But circling back.
Okay. Yeah.
Circling
Body
back.
positivity.
So
Wait, before we circle all the way back. Before we circle all the way back. He brought up a good thing though, big point, because that pressure was pressure without the internet and comparing yourself to other teenagers and stuff around the world. Because we compare to high school. Like, when I look back at high school, I had to be like, and not to be like boastful, but like one of the top 10 most, not like physically attractive, but like attractive males in school, because I was really good with girls. I got like the biggest flirt in my yearbook, my last year. Like, I was really good with women. If I would have had that same mentality and like saw other dudes, like, you see these teens now, these kids now, these rich kids, like, I would compare myself to those other kids. My self-esteem would have been through the fucking floor. Like, so I don't even know how these kids now are handling stuff like the way they look and the way they feel.
I mean, and then when you look at them, if you was to go to a high school right now, I would look like I belong there. And not just because I'm small, but because they look so grown.
Yeah.
Like, these girls are 13, 14, face full of makeup,
Yeah.
Weave down their backs and dress like an Instagram thought.
Yeah.
Like, and that's normal. Like, it's normal.
My little cousin's a freshman now at Southern, and she does hair when she's back in town. And she's doing this girl's hair. She has like the puffer pink jacket or whatever. And like was sitting there getting the hair done, long braids, like on like the kind of like the thick braids go down your head. She stood up, bro. I shit you not. She looked like fucking like I don't know how to describe it. Her ass was huge. I'm just like, this bitch is 18. In my mind, I'm like, and then I went like, I hope she's 18. So I'm like, so I had to like, I just got up and left the room. I just got up and left. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna, because like they were not built like that when I was in high school.
No,
they were not built like this when I was in high school.
No, they're hitting puberty way early, because it was like the ones who looked like that were older than they should have been in school, or they hit puberty like way early. And so, you had, of course, we all had, like, my best friend, she definitely had boobs and everything when we were in high school, like freshman year coming out the gate.
Talking about Sydney?
Don't know who that is. And even with that, with having that look at that age, it was assumed that she was fast, that she was, having sex and everything else, just because she had the body that that people liked and everything. And that to me is crazy too. But anyway, we're understanding where, all of our ideas of body image come from. When they talk about body positivity, I think the problem is that it does not include health. I think to push and say, oh, regardless to how healthy you are, you should be happy with how you look is crazy to me. I think at some point there should be some type of strive to be healthy. Now, if you're healthy-ish or trying to be healthy and you still look the way you look, by all means, love yourself. Please love yourself.
I do.
Because you're trying, but if you look the way you look and you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or all these other type of issues, and yet you want to still stand there and be like, oh, but I love the way I look. And it's kind of like, I'm concerned because you're not healthy. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying you got to be a health freak. I'm not the most healthiest eater, but geez, like, I try.
And you notice everything you said is weight related issues, because they're the only faction of the body positive people who backlash at people who try to leave that group. Because the body positivity also covers women who get their breast removed from cancer. And understand, because it's like body positive for everything. So you lose your breast from cancer, you have the scars that the women show off their scars, you get tattoos.
That's so dope.
They say they support each other, which you should be. That's uncomfortable. You're a woman for 30 years, you lose your breast,
right?
And then that's a big part of your sexuality and your identity. You know what I mean? And then, but at the same time, though, those same women who lose their breasts, those who get implants, don't get attacked by the ones who refuse to get implants. You know what I mean?
Right.
The ones who have really bad acne scarring, you know what I mean, don't get attacked. People who are getting medication to fix their acne, fix their face and stuff like that. It's only the ones when it comes to weight where they backlash each other when they change their body type. I'm starting to realize.
Okay.
Well, and it's like, and I don't want to downplay it, but even the categories you use in support of what you're saying, these are serious health conditions.
Yeah.
And things that they have to keep their lives.
Yeah. All out of their control.
Yeah. So
before you say that, because there are issues and conditions that can cause you to be overweight, there's really a thyroid issue or something like that.
Like, I agree with that. It's just that it kind of with Torrance is, as soon as someone wants to say, hey, I want to be healthy, it's like in part of this community, and they start losing their weight, all of a sudden, like, oh, they not loving themselves, they're kind of going with the vibe. And it's like, and I love to speak, like, I'm not a black woman, I know, and I'm not a woman in general, I know when it comes to being overweight.
You're a white woman?
In a past life. I know when it comes to being overweight, being a woman, it's a bigger deal. But I always think about how, like, for me, like, I'm always been a bigger guy, but like my blood pressure, I almost hit like 120 over 60 every time. Like, I have like perfect blood pressure. Like my cholesterol's good and everything. I just like meat and potatoes. So but I can say that I'm healthy. But when you really think about that, that is an outlier. That is not the case for everybody that is overweight. So when you think about people that are overweight and they don't have high blood pressure, diabetes runs in their family. My
granddaddy had diabetes. And he lived to be 89 years old.
So it's like when you think about these health issues and like, hey guys, it's okay to look okay with your skin, but how's your health? And correlation, the healthier you get, you're going to lose weight unless you have a underlying health condition. Like, there's no way you can maintain, if you're really trying to get your blood pressure down, get your cholesterol down, get your body fat percentages down, because if you got a higher body fat percentage, you have more issues with heart disease. So if you're trying to get all that down, like, you're gonna lose weight.
It's like people don't take in excessiveness, and that's where all the negativity comes from. Like, because there's nothing wrong with being a little chubby or a little fat. Like, fat is healthy. Like, it keeps you warm. Like, your body literally needs warm.
I'm torn. Ego.
Your body literally needs
We're
a
we're not whales, right?
Get up.
No, look. Your body literally needs a certain percentage of
It's
fat.
not for warmth. I'm gonna tell you right now. You better Google it. you talk to the wrong person.
It helps protect your body to a degree, not just for
It's
warmth.
it's for your organs.
That's what I'm saying.
It protects your organs and is also a
He's talking about cuddling, bro. Dang, bro, get out here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Because if I'm not mistaken, if what is it 5%? If you go below 5% in as far as body fat, you start to get health conditions because your body isn't supposed to be
You're more
that
injury
far
prone.
down.
It matters for male and female.
Like, oh, you said differently.
Females anything under like 12.
Like your body needs it.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah.
like there's nothing wrong for a little bit to be there or just a decent amount. It's when it's excessive.
Well, and I think
Like you're like the fat cells in your body absorb certain things.
Well, yeah. I think that the reason, because I know you brought up all the other stuff that's under that umbrella, but I think the reason I think I so quick to gravitate towards weight specifically is because that's where you hear the problem at the most. When it comes to body positivity, like nobody is going to, and for what reason, shame a woman who cut her boobs off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they have their own personal journey that they have to go through with feeling positive about themselves. And I think it's great to have a community that will help you uplift yourself in that aspect because that's a more personal journey, But on a public scale, ain't nobody, you know what I mean? We're not going to, who's shaming that person? You know what I mean? Who's shame, and outside of the realm of children and being in high school as far as having acne go, because that's kind of just a part of being a kid. As an adult with face acne, again, that's something that's a more personal journey because your everyday person is not finna just start roasting you. You know what I mean? Because you got bad acne. Yeah. But when it comes to weight specifically, you have people who are unhealthy and overweight pushing this agenda that, hey, I feel good about myself. And to me, it sends a mixed message to younger kids and to other people because it's kind of like, okay, yes, I want you to not feel bad about yourself, but I also want you to try to be better. And that's not saying like, oh, you need to be at the gym 5 days a week and you need to stop eating this and stop eating that. It's all about portion control. It's all about, your moderation and just doing what's comfortable for you. But I don't think you should just be okay with poor health.
I think so I'm gonna answer it. We talked about everything. The first two things you said, the getting your breast cut off and acne thing, isn't necessarily the making fun of, but it's the rejection that is what they're worried about. That's a factor. Yeah,
okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
Rejection in a spouse, like you know what I mean? Like,
right.
If you're single, you have a double
mastectomy,
and you lose your breast. How do you find a spouse?
Right.
How do you show that to someone that you've never met before?
Okay.
Try to build a relationship. Same thing with acne. If you have really bad acne, how do you find someone who will be okay with that? Not touching your face and respecting those things. So those are things they're worried about, I think.
Okay.
It's not necessarily out. But to your point, though, fat people do get made fun of
right.
way more in movies and media and stuff.
Right.
Or like actors. Jonah Hill can't get away from being the fat kid. Even when he lost weight.
People were mad.
People were really upset.
People were mad that he lost weight.
People were really upset. The roast he did for James Franco roast, he was skinny for that roast. He still got fat jokes the entire time. And the jokes he didn't get was about him going back to being fat eventually. Like, it's just so fat people. Yeah, so to your point, yeah, it is more outlier of a thing. But I think the issue with them is the problem with I'm sorry, I started saying overweight. I'm sorry. Overweight people is that they hire a lot of that bias agenda behind facts, unfortunately, because there is an unrealistic ceiling for women for beauty. You know what I mean? That's true. Women are judged more than men based on their beauty, which is true. But then they hide behind that by saying, if you don't love yourself as a fat person and try to better yourself, then you're the problem, which is unfair. Extremely unfair, especially if there's health issues involved. Even if there's not health issues involved, there shouldn't be a problem with wanting to
better yourself,
to make yourself more attractive, to the masses at the end of the day, because we are social creatures. And at the end of the day, like, a lot of things are driven from love and sex. And so unless you're finding another man who's super body positive and you're happy with his body and you guys are both out of shape and happy, so be it. But if you're looking for love, you want to open your pond as wide as possible, it is okay to be the best version of yourself, even without the health aspect of it. But they make you feel like if you do that, then you're forsaking everyone that's like you.
Because from what I've seen, it seemed like when a big girl, when you look at somebody that's like Monique, who was so pro being big, you know, being fat was her thing, and then she went and she lost all that weight and she got healthy and things like that. And then at first people were so upset because it's like, how dare you go and you told us, you know, hey, own it, be it, you know, and then you went off and you left, and it's kind of like that's the mixed message that I'm talking about.
And like, I'm just like piggybacking on what you're saying, like, it's so hard to me to see, and this is me using my male privilege and lens, where if you are eating like you're supposed to, and I'm not even saying like lettuce and figs, just portion control, like eat whatever you want to, just portion control, and you're walking, 30 minutes a day, you know, if that. If you do not have one of those health conditions that causes you to not lose weight, just that casual amount
will have an impact on your
body. It will have an impact where you would not be overweight. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Or in the reverse, where like people who tend to lose weight really quickly and their like body starts to break down, and they are eating and trying to put on weight. Like what happened to Missy Elliott. Like,
well, she has a thyroid condition.
I thought one of y'all just said it was lupus.
Lupus. There you go. Yeah, no, I think it's both.
That like, you know.
Yeah, lupus. I think lupus hindered her ability to dance and stuff for a while. It is lupus
because T-Boz has the same thing, and her weight fluctuates a lot too.
And the chick from Salt and Pepper.
Yep.
And it's like, you know, I'm eating, my body's just not.
Well, but that's this
that's
isn't a blanket.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like that's to my point where saying that if that's like
I'm agreeing like on the same point with you. Like
if there's a health thing, I can't. There's nothing I can say to that. But when you do those bare minimum things, it's really hard to maintain being overweight. So it's hard for me to kind of split the body's positivity when it comes to being overweight and health, because those little things is something that everybody should be doing to be healthy. You know, minimum 30-minute walk, you know, not even nothing high intensity that you're going to start. Right. You're not going to be 300 something pounds and saying I'm in love with my skin.
Because like,
can't get me. I was just going to say, I think it's sad because I know that there are going to be people who are upset or don't agree with what we're saying, because, you know, a lot of times when you start speaking on being healthy, people automatically assume that you're shunning them, or, you know, they take it so personal. You know what I mean? And to me, all you're showing me is that you feel a way about how you are and what you look like. I know I have a lot of big girls that are my friends, and I love them to death. And one of them, she eats well. Like she doesn't like pig out or nothing like that. Like she eats good. She does what she does or whatever, but she's a big girl. So for her to still love herself through all of that, I think is really important for her. But that's her. Mm-hmm. A lot of women or a lot of people are just out here
doing what they
want and just, you know what I mean? Not even trying, and then want to sell it off like, oh, you know, you should be okay with how I look. And it's like, well, that doesn't matter. I don't care about how you look, but I think that you should care about how you look. Yeah, about your health.
Because that's why I was talking about excessiveness earlier, because it, like, people, one of y'all pointed out, people do more so talk about the larger people or people who are overweight. Mm-hmm. Like, people more so do point that out. But you can also be like one of those supermodels or super skinny and who are passing out every 5 seconds.
I was gonna say something about that.
Or like or people who do like not physical fitness, like bodybuilders. You can be a bodybuilder, be huge, jacked, ripped, but your organs are shutting down from the stuff that you're putting in your body.
Too muscular.
Like, you can rip you can have muscle tears from stuff like
because you're too big. I was gonna get more into the opposite of that because the opposite of being a bigger person, because I remember after having Jesse, I lost a lot of weight. Like I slimmed down fast and a lot, and I had got used to what my body looked like. I had a small frame, I had a shape, you know, I looked good to me. And then I had my second daughter, and that was gone. I looked at myself and I didn't recognize myself. And when I would try to talk to my friends about it, they would shut me down. Like, oh, what you mad for?
Because
you're small. What you complaining about? You're not, you don't look like me. And it's kind of like, well, I don't look like me either, And so that the body positivity, I feel like it's such a scam, because really what they're, to me, in that category is saying like, you need to be okay with me being big. And that's all it's about. Don't complain about being little. Don't complain about being skinny. Don't complain about being, don't complain about nothing else. If you ain't fat, you don't get to say nothing. Like that's what it says to me.
Basically, just saying F your self-esteem.
Yeah, because
how you feel.
And it was so hard. Like I really didn't gain weight back until I got pregnant again 2 years later. So
only people, when that whole thing with Lizzo happened, only people who actually understand what health is actually understood what she was saying. She wasn't saying it's not okay for you to be a bigger person, but from what you're doing, there's no way that
your health is going to be in good faith.
Exactly.
Like don't promote.
Are you talking about Jillian Michaels saying?
Yeah, don't promote people to be unhealthy.
Right.
And that's what kind of my point. It's like at a certain point, there's no possible way, if you're doing bare minimum exercise to your health and portion control, you can maintain that size unless you have a health thing. So that's why it's so hard for me, because, and I'm speaking on it so much because I was a big guy. Like I was like almost 300 and some pounds, eating whatever. But I was still working out. I was still doing martial arts. I was still teaching classes. I was still moving. Was I tired? All the time, but I twist my ankle.
Part of the problem is though, when you are, that overweight, part of the reason you're that overweight has to do with your ability to push yourself and keep yourself accountable in some sense or form. Mm-hmm. So what you're telling people to do is to, even if it's a minute thing, it's still a major change in their lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's not a big change, but it's a consistent change, and it's an everyday change.
Yeah, especially if it's a person who lacks any type of like self control or like you said, keeping themselves in check.
And that's the thing. I'm not telling people to do that. It's just that the only thing I'm saying is that when a person says I'm happy in my own body, and the health aspect of it is that should matter. That's what I'm saying. It should, but the problem is, it goes back to the microwave society. You're asking someone to do this stuff with no real nothing comes from it. And that's the worst part about fitness, is that when you train someone new, and I meet someone who's 26 years old, 27 years old, and obese, and they've been obese since they've been 18. I tell them, and I'm honest with them, I'm like, you're not going to see much of a change these first 4 or 5 months. You got to understand that we're fixing you from the inside out. This stuff's going to help with your blood pressure, your headaches, your sleeping, your energy levels, your overall mood. Those things are going to change way before your belly starts shrinking, or you start seeing cuts on your arms, or your knee pain will go away, your back pain will go away. These things are going to get fixed.
Well, plus you also lose weight from the face down anyway. So
so in their mind, that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here though. I'm here because I'm fat, and I'm tired of being fat. Like, the health
social
stuff,
media doesn't help, because you know what I mean. Social media shows you, do these teas, which ain't nothing but laxatives, y'all, and you know what I mean. Do these quick diets and stuff like that, and you'll see a difference in 30 days.
They get slim fast.
Like
schemes.
That plastic around your belly.
If you look at Biggest Loser, if we watched maybe like 10 seasons of that show. When you have those interviews at the beginning of that show, what's the first thing people bring up? I'm unhappy by the way I look. Mm-hmm. I'm unhappy with the way I feel. Like not physically feel, emotionally feel.
Yep.
They don't,
It's a mental thing.
And then they get into the health stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that for majority of people who are overweight, that health stuff's still on the back burner compared to just fitting in your shirt and fitting in your pants.
Even though that's like literally the most important thing at that
and what
point in time.
what it is that it's easier to be like, you know what, I'm just going to love me the way I look and the way I am instead of fixing why I look the way I look. Instead of changing my diet, instead of walking to a place instead of driving or whatever the case is, instead of doing these little things that I will have to be committed to doing.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna love the way I look.
I'm gonna take it a step further, but this is gonna be real controversial.
What?
Yeah,
Same thing pretty much you said, but easier by saying the only reason I feel the way that I feel about the way that I look is because of social media.
Oh yeah, that's
it can be a double-edged sword, but people like.
I feel like I'm not overweight. I go to the gym, I work out, I eat well, and I still have body image issues from time to time because of social media. If I don't look at it and don't see it, yeah, out of sight, out of mind. But when I'm on social media and just looking, and just when you observe what people like, the stuff that people comment on, the stuff that gets applauded and everything else, and then you look at yourself and it's kind of like,
I don't look like that.
damn.
Well,
you know?
you know who has it worse though. I'll say this, and I'll probably piss people off, but people who are bodybuilders or who are in shape have worse body dysmorphia, or if they feel worse about their body than anyone that's ever been fat.
I can believe that.
I bet I feel worse about my body than anyone who's like been super skinny, super fat, because I've been shredded. Like, people beat people. It's hard. It's like you work so hard to get something, and then you have to revert back to what you were before that. It is literally the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah,
I absolutely hate the way I look sometimes, and I look better than most people at the gym. I'm the strongest person in the gym. About 90% of the time I'm in any gym I go to, and I still hate how I feel sometimes the way I look. You know what I mean? Like that is the most mind fuck thing in the world to have the body you always wanted and then losing it.
right.
And that's more. And I think that's a scary thing too. Is like having to run a race, you might have to run again.
What is this more so like? I got here and I achieved what I wanted, but I can't maintain this.
It's impossible to maintain.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
and it's like, dang,
That's
a whole nother conversation, bro, because there's a lot of that industry is hard to maintain. That industry is real judgy, bro.
It is real judgy.
Because
it is real judgy.
it's like cattle.
And the reason I'm bringing it up though because we understand the purpose of the race, and we understand running the race. Someone who's never ran that race before, where it looks so long and so difficult. Like if I told you, hey, Jeremy, you need to run 26 miles to get to this thing that you want, right? Like, okay, PS5. Hey, you run 26 miles to get PS5, right? You'll do it, right? But what if I told you there's a chance we're going to steal that from you one day and make you run that race again randomly? And it's going to keep happening for the rest of your life.
So let's just say, for instance, like say, okay, you run the race, you get the PS5. 2 months later, they take it from you.
Take it from
It's like, oh, you want it back? Run another 26.
Yeah, every 6 months, you got to keep running this race to get that same. It's the same result. You had it. You know what it is.
But you know what?
But you got to keep running that race over and over
gotta
again for the
keep
rest of
giving
your
it
life.
back.
With that, I think that he's crazy. With that,
Well, we all are. That's the
well,
fitness
no, but
industry, though.
I'm gonna say even with that mentality, that's how your average person feels about being in shape. Because what people don't speak on is that once you're in shape, you got to stay there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like average people don't understand. Like they don't understand that part of this.
It's a forever race, being in shape and being healthy, and it's a constant choice and a constant decision. You know how many times I probably shouldn't have ate something, or I should have cut something out, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna treat myself. And that's the sacrifice.
I went through that Wednesday. I went through that. I had Harold's, and I went train
heroin, bro. I'm like, whoa, that is not a celebration.
I had heroin, and it was like, treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
But no, yeah, it's
The dragon.
Imagine seeing that in the gym. It's like I'm now trying to curl up. It's like, what the fuck is happening to me?
But yeah,
On the bench, I'm having a bad set, man. let me get going, bro.
it's so it's like people that race to be in with your health it's a very conscious one, and I don't think a lot of people feel like, well, I'm not doing that. And then you have the route of surgery, but it's like, again,
It doesn't change your health.
you still have to maintain.
Well,
It's like a car. Your body is a car. Maintain it.
A lot of those surgeries backfire. Though.
And I'm just going back
Because it doesn't change your overall body's health. Your
Lap-
cholesterol and other stuff, it doesn't change.
60% of lap bands fail.
I'm just going back to your thing because I'm just sitting here to think, and it's always been the industry to me that's been so. Well, I understand why body dysmorphia and not being body positive, happy with your body, because even you sit there, you work your hardest, and you got 4 or 5 people that sometimes usually overweight tell you that you weren't, you're never strong enough, and you get 5th, 6th, get off to the side, or even just me going to your show, where I never realized that they throw you to the side when you're not what they like.
It's the most demeaning thing in the world.
It's like they just, and so you know what's happening once you get, and you have to sit there while you watch the shredded people.
And like I didn't do the right things the first half of my show because of some other stuff, and then towards the end I kind of fumbled what I did. So I came in dead last in that first show. Second show I got 5th. I did much better, but that first show came in dead last. So think about this. I worked 6 months. And I cut 65 pounds. And I was probably in better shape than most of the people in the fucking audience. But I had to stand on stage with 15 other dudes. And they told me to my face, you're the least shaped person up there.
And go to the end.
Go to the side and wait while we judge the other guys.
While you're there. Just keep posing, though.
And you have to watch everybody else that's better than you.
And then the way the show works, the way the crazy thing show works, so that morning show, I know I lost already. I know I'm dead last. Because like the order of how they put you is the order you're in. You know who wins. So the night show, I have to go out there and do a minute routine and pose in front of the judges and the audience, knowing I'm dead last, and show off my body that just lost in this competition I've been working for the last half a year.
Bro, that's life for people. That is life for people. Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
It's tough
because that is definitely life for. Imagine, I mean, that reminds me of high school. A group of girls, right? It's a group of us. And there's always an ugly one or one that's not as attractive.
That's why the pretty one stays around. Ugly girls.
Well, that's insecure women that do that. But that's life. That's you go through life knowing that your friends are prettier than you, that they are always the preferred person. I'm here for comic relief. And until I can find a race that is for me, I'm just, I know that I ain't the one. Whenever we go out, I'm coat check, bag check.
Hold on. We call it in the when I was a bottle blind, we call them guard dogs. So you see the girl,
part of the problem.
The ugly girls or the big girls in the group of all the hot women that would like, you see a girl get hit on and the big girl be like, oh no, we're fine. We're hanging out. It's a girls' night. Or like she's like, they be dancing. She's sitting by the coats and the bags and shit. They were always ready to go. We call them guard dogs.
She don't want you. What you talking about? She came over here and started talking.
But
to me.
It's just as bad on the other side because then you have your group of guys. It's all right. Who's gonna hop this grenade?
Who's gonna hop that? Who's gonna take this grenade? We call it leashing.
That's worse.
Who's on the leash tonight?
That's worse.
Who's on the leash tonight?
that is terrible.
I was a bad person for a long time, people. I'm just letting you know that.
He said was.
But I'm the mean one in this group. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which you should understand that.
That's man.
bad, right?
Whatever.
No, I'm not that bad. I leashed a couple times. Big dog and he left too.
He still said leashed.
We need a Pop Smoke growl.
No. No. No.
You are so don't worry, ladies. He's taken, so you don't have to. He's not. You don't have to worry about him.
They like poor woman.
They about to write letters.
She's like, Emma, Jesus.
Are you okay?
Does he love you, really? All right.
How could you be with a guy like this?
But
Why do they talk like that?
I don't know. You sound like a middle-aged white woman. Okay, Susan.
You getting your food, you getting your food back.
Right?
He doesn't get
Waitress.
He doesn't get the joke.
This is anyway.
Okay, look at the confusion on this face.
So long.
He's like, what? I don't know what's going on.
I called you a middle-aged white woman.
He's so
And then Torrance said, yeah, you'll get your food back.
Why
Well,
would I
you're
want
sending
my
your food back. You're sending your food back.
Oh, okay.
You're sending your food back.
Okay. I got it. A little late.
Hella late, nigga.
All right. But yeah. And so I think that with body positivity, when it comes to weight, it's a sham. It's a sham. You know, because it's to me, I don't know what it started with, but it seems like it's supposed to only be for overweight people who don't plan on getting in shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they have no desire to, I'm not gonna say they don't have any desire to be healthy, but they're okay with where they're at and they want the world to be okay with where they're at and not say anything to them about doing something different.
They're the Catholics of body positivity.
And so
Why did that analogy work?
I don't it just does.
Bro, you can't be different than them. You can't tell them what to do. If you leave them, you're going to hell.
Or gay people.
They don't. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think
They're the same way.
If we get canceled, that means at least people are listening.
At least we got
At least people are listening.
6, 7 shows in.
Well, no, if we get canceled,
This is
that means
9.
we have a base.
We got 9 shows in.
You know how hard it is to get canceled?
Yeah, we'll rebrand.
Well, no. I mean, I think there are quite a few groups of people who want things their way and don't want any lip about it. It's just how they are as a whole. That's how that community comes off. And you'll be crazy to disagree.
Like a terrorist,
Even if you are
like a terrorist organization.
Or Suchi.
exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Everything's extreme with this nigga, bro.
Everything.
I said Catholics. He went to ISIS, bro. Damn, man.
My man, you either are pitch black or Snow White with my bro, man. That's ain't no
damn,
varying shades and kind of to touch off on what Dante was talking about before, when you go into the opposite direction of just being smaller and trying to gain weight and things like that. It's like, where's the support for those group of people? You know what I mean? Because everybody wants support for the big person who has trouble with losing weight or isn't losing weight or isn't trying to lose, whatever that case is. But the second somebody who isn't deemed who looks okay to them says anything about their body image, all of a sudden it's like, well, no, now this ain't about you. This ain't for you.
The model who's a size 0 passing out every 5 seconds.
Well, and I mean, but right, no, and that's the comeback.
Girl, you looking good.
Can I tell you how many times I've posted about like, oh man, like I wish I looked. I would say stuff, and my dearest of friends would quickly let me know I need to stop.
In their defense, you do got a body, and
I'm talking to
Body.
anyway, and I'm talking. First of all, I'm talking about after Jess. That's not the body I have now. Thank you. That's a whole nother body.
Don't imagine it, you fucking weirdo. He said, "Nah, it's not."
It's his fault anyway.
No, it's yeah.
well, you know, when you're with a woman, you like have different bodies with her. It's like having like different women. Like,
Yeah. I mean, compared to like me and Emma, we've had about 9 different matches of bodies since we've been dating.
Right. But yeah, and so it was like I had no support. There was nobody who I could kind of talk to about the body image issue. Well, you don't count, babe. The body image issues I was having because I'm the smallest one of my friends. And so I was even smaller. And so then it was like, oh, you know, you're privileged. Shut up. Quit complaining because, you know, I'm XYZ. And it's like, well.
with a man.
And it's like, well, I'm talking about me. You know, I need some support.
Like, I need help.
Right. You know, you go from, like you said, it's like going from being front stage to back to, you know, prep. And it's like, you know, okay, I need to figure out which body I'm going to have and try to get there and maintain maintain that. Because I, up until, it's been about, 6 months I've been working out. I never worked out, ever. I just had a good metabolism. And after my third kid, my body said, okay, now, heifer, you need to work for it. And so that was an adjustment because I was used to my body just snapping back. And I had to figure out, okay, Brittany, you either going to sit here and complain about being however I looked, or I'm gonna do something about it.
Yeah, because college Brittany lived off of Flaming Hots and pickles, and
I'm just
didn't have an ounce of fat on her belly.
I'm just saying,
nothing.
I didn't. I missed that. Should have took advantage of it.
Rice for 2 years straight.
Well, now I
just got two abs.
Yeah, your bowls.
Still got a flap.
Still had a little oomph on there.
now. Well, now I work out, and I cut out sugar.
She works out now twice a week and still maintains. It's the most.
I'm actually still losing too.
It's the most frustrating thing ever.
Meanwhile,
but I can't talk about it.
You in the gym? Was it 5 times a week?
Well, no, but okay.
Was it 6?
Listen, I did it. I had to get there first. I did 30. Look, I did 30 days, 5 days a week, and let me think. For those first 2 weeks, I did nothing but veggies. Then I did a water. I did a lemon diet. Then I did nothing but veggies. Yeah, I did the whole thing for 30
That's
days.
not why I was pointing.
And then what?
You're telling your story to a person that just competed.
Well, no, I'm saying that's why he understands. He understands what I'm saying.
I understand the pain. I ate chicken broth for a day straight.
So I did. No, what I'm saying is, before I went down to my little 2 days a week and everything, I shocked my body into getting used to
dying.
Yeah, pretty much. Because that's how I felt. And even now, after doing all of that, it's certain things I
people at home like, I don't want to do fitness. They make this fitness shit sound terrible.
Well, no, but after
we're taking it to the extreme,
shocking,
people. It's extreme.
Well, no, yeah, because after shocking my system, I am more conscious of what I eat. I am like, okay, I'm not gonna pick out 3 days in a row, I'll just do this one day of eating not so great, but I also I don't eat a lot of sugar. I don't eat a lot of carbs. I replaced, if I can find it made with veggies instead of just flour, you know what I mean? Like I've done a lot of things because I know what it's going to take for me to get where I need to be. And I said, well, I'm not going to the gym 5 days a week. So I got to figure it out how to make it work somewhere else, Oh,
and stuff that people, what's crazy too? What's funny about that? It's the positive stuff people don't talk about. And me and you talked about this at the gym on Thanksgiving.
You gotta remind me.
Remember your buddy caught with the pictures?
So
yes. People don't talk about the positive things, especially for men. So all my men that are listening who are a little bit heavier, when you work out for real and start doing cardio and you start losing weight, one, your erections become way more powerful. I'm using the word powerful for a reason. And then when you're lean,
good word.
When you're lean, like when I got lean, like I'm I've always been like very happy with my penis. It's a great penis. But when I was lean, that thing looked like a baby leg, bro. That bitch had veins and
you do gain length,
bro. It looked
as
like a
you
monster,
lose weight.
bro. I almost killed Emma the first time we had sex after my show. I got carbs in me, I had energy. Oh my gosh, she passed out. It was great. I'm telling you, fellas, if there's no other reason to lose weight and work out, the healthier your penis.
Every man's dream, I don't care if they say it or not, is to always have a larger penis, no matter the size of their penis.
No matter.
If I could tell you the potion is cardio,
hit training,
I should see 49 people running down the street
bro,
at the end of this podcast.
Telling you, bro.
At night.
Telling you, man. Working out. Lifting.
Thursday after release, you're just going to see just all of them running outside.
And same thing for ladies, because I help Suchak. He doesn't know anything about a female orgasm.
No,
the female orgasm is
you're right.
The vibration and contraction. Wait, no, this is important. This is important. Hold on, this is important. Okay,
I forgot what it looks like.
Okay, this is important. Don't cut this. This is important. This is important. The female orgasm, for people who don't know the body, is the contraction and vibration of the pelvic floor. And the pelvic floor becomes stronger through Kegels. obviously, because that's a big popular thing. But a lot of people don't know, especially women, planks, deadlifting, and squatting help strengthen the pelvic floor. So women who squat, deadlift, and plank will have stronger orgasms long term if they work out constantly. So these are real. It helps both sides.
I love the way you just mansplained orgasms.
No, this is for women. This is for men.
Oh, okay.
This is for men.
Well, because a lot of times you said a lot of women don't know this either.
Well, they might not know about the.
I don't think they do. I don't.
Well, no, about the workout.
About the deadlifting and stuff, because like when you deadlift and so it's called something called thoracic pressure from your sternum down to like your lower pelvic area.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I almost peed myself when I was deadlifting one day.
Yeah. So yeah. So the way your abdominal is set up, you have your rectus abdominis and your transverse. The transverse is the abs behind your abs that keep everything in place. So when you squeeze that with the diaphragm, the rectus, and your pelvic floor, it strengthens everything through your body. So for women who deadlift and do compound movements, it will strengthen your pelvic floor, which in long term would make your orgasms better. Mm-hmm. Feel me?
No, I know you're the perfect person to explain it. It just sounds like something Suchi would do, and then I wouldn't be able to accept that from him because he's not a personal trainer. But you're fine.
Okay.
He's like, how did I get it?
I get it.
Suchi's like an orgasm.
I did, however.
Organisms? Women have organisms?
This is an episode of Big Mouth all over again.
I'm going through changes.
He said, wait, women get horny?
I support you, Suchi.
I did hear the other day though, working out can boost testosterone levels in men.
Yes. Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No, scientifically behind it. Like it was.
Someone explained it to you.
Because I bought the bench, so I just been trying to use it and whatnot. And the dude was. It works in women too, but it basically tells your body that it's getting ready to to fight. It's telling your body it's getting prepared for survival.
You know what? I'm sorry. No, you're right.
You know what?
You're right though.
This has been a great conversation. Let's wrap this up because this is this is turning into a roast.
I think Brittany has something to say.
Let's
end it like let's actually end it though. End it.
I'm gonna go look up the definition of an orgasm.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll say this. I think that when used correctly, body positivity can be a great support system for those who need it, which can be any one of us at this table at any moment, you know. Mm-hmm. I think that health should be a part of that conversation as well when we talk about weight.
Actually, I think you should end it this way. Especially since you had this issue with some of your friends who are bigger, how do they fix it? How do they do better with using it as something that helps them become like healthier or because you know what I mean? Because like
I think it starts with wanting that change. I've had people kind of say or kind of complain a little bit about, I hate this about myself or I hate that about myself and whatever. But I don't think I've ever had anyone say, hey, I'm about to start doing XYZ and I need an accountability partner. Because I think that's super important, to have a group or a person or something that will help you hold yourself accountable for the change that you're trying to make with anything, And so I think that I want nothing more than for any of my bigger friends, to of course feel good about themselves, to look in the mirror and like what they see and everything like that. But I want more than that for them to be healthy in the process. But they have to want that too. So this goes back to me saying that it's easier to just accept yourself without wanting the healthy part because of the work that that you're going to have to put in to do it. So I mean, it's nothing that I can really do about that. that's just up to them, you know, because it's your life. And if you feel better with just accepting it instead of trying to change it, I can't do nothing about that. You know, I have no say so in it, you know, in any way. But I think that you have to be careful when you want to claim being body positive and not being healthy.
Yeah.
You know, there's a fine line there, because, you know, there are other people looking at you, you know, when you say these things, especially if you have children or little cousins, nieces, whatever the case is. And if, you know, they're so, oh yeah, TT said, you know, it's okay. And it's like, well, now you're going to have this kid thinking that they can just do whatever, eat whatever, and, you know, it's not going to be a problem, you know? So it's just, I think we just really need to be more conscious. But also, I think that other people who are not in that situation can't be so quick to be so publicly judgmental.
Yeah.
Everybody is judgmental, and, you know, behind closed doors, you can think how you want to think and feel the way you feel. But when you go public with that and try to say like, oh, you need to do this and you're wrong and you can't do it, you know what I mean? Like when you start shaming people and stuff, you got to be a lot more gentler, because this is a very sensitive topic for people, you know, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to advise and help, but you have to first make sure that your advice is even wanted. Otherwise, you could just keep your opinion and your fat shaming to yourself, you know?
Yeah, I think people need to understand that bettering yourself isn't a highlight of negativities. You know what I mean? You can still love your body and love yourself, but it's okay to improve. And the things you're improving on isn't a negative. It's just something that you want to make better within yourself. And that has to be the first step to losing weight and getting in shape. Because if you do not really love yourself in some capacity or form, losing weight, it will be an awful process. It will be a terrible process. It will not last. You will not do it. You have to accept where you are, be happy where you are, and then move to change.
It's like building a house.
I always joke around saying like people like, oh, like I do a lot of core stuff and everything. Like, oh man, you working on abs? I'm like, actually no, I really have no desire to have abs. People can't fathom that and understand that. I'm like,
But you need to have a strong core.
yeah, I'm okay with having a strong core, but
Yeah.
like, oh man, the abs gonna come through. I'm like, oh, if they do, I'm not really trying to make it happen. So, but again, like that kind of goes with what you're saying, like being okay with, you know, where you're at, you know, being acceptable where you're at.
I've low key kind of forgot what I was ready to say. It had something to do with and if like Mrs. Friction said, if someone asks you or talks to you, you know, saying things about how they don't like something or they want to do something, only give them advice if you know what you're going to be talking about, or don't go saying something to somebody about the way that they look, and then if they turn around like, oh, I've been thinking that myself, can you help me? Because this you don't like go around trying to judge somebody for something and then
not be a help.
Yeah, it's pointless.
Also, in about 3 years, when I'm like all bandaged up, don't judge me.
I'm confused.
You don't get to surgery.
Oh, because I will go on. Look, I'm all for working out and everything. I really am. But when I tell you 3 kids have done damage that working out can't fix, I'm going to see a surgeon.
This is the consequences of.
We would be under the bandage together, baby.
I'm just saying.
Those are the consequences of not doing it prior to the children.
Because look, Torrance was talking about, you know, the muscle behind your abs, right?
Yeah.
Well, when you have children, they spread it.
Mm-hmm.
And there is nothing you can do to put them back together, okay? Nothing.
They tear.
Depending on how bad it is. And so, a tummy
kids.
tuck will stitch them back together. And then I just have to maintain it. I'm all for maintaining.
I mean,
I'm maintaining now. I can do that.
As
And
long as
boob job, I'm
as
good.
long as you don't get excessive, we cool. Like,
Just don't touch your face.
Like
No,
you go from a tummy tuck
I
to a boob
legit
job
just
to a
went-
butt lift to
because
some stuff on your back
because I'm blessed. Look, I'm blessed enough to have a shape and to have a butt, and my boobs. I can get a boob job, so we're good. I just need to get my boobs in a tummy tuck, and
starts with a tummy tuck, gets to a hair transplant.
Whoa,
Okay, that was excessive.
whoa.
That's the thing.
That's-
I mean, Lil Kim showed it, but you know what? I'm glad Lil Kim is
But
getting some color back though.
no. And then what I found out is that a lot of her face work were fillers, and it wasn't permanent work because she's starting to look like her old self.
Yeah,
Thank God.
So
That thing-
I-
like
she's not getting so she's not getting. You can tell she's not doing fillers anymore.
yeah, she's looking a lot better.
Now her nose, whatever she did to it, she did.
Oh,
to
she
it.
janited herself.
But yeah.
I thought Lil Kim was hot to see start fucking with a no.
But
50 Cent line.
But like, it's for everyone who's listening. If you want a free consultation or conversation for fitness, reach out to me on Instagram, ego_the_
Link will be in the bio.
bragger.
Link will be in the bio.
Link will be in the bio. Thank you, sir. I'll get you set up. Free conversation. I will not hold anything back. I'll be honest with you. I will not push you to buy, but I will talk to you, FaceTime or over Messenger. Let me know.
There you go. Anyway, wrapping up, every guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
You want to wrap it up, Brittany? You started it.
Oh, all right. Well, this has been No Time to Explain. Can't wait to. Oh, well, baby, you got something? Hey, say mama.
Boogie, woogie, woogie.
He's shy. He didn't want to talk. Anyway.
Thought the fear would help.
No, my son ain't no punk. What? Anyway, this has been No Time to Explain, and we will catch y'all next week.
All right. Happy
Deuces.
holidays, everybody. Deuces.